Why cars don't use old antennas anymore. Have you ever noticed how new cars are almost too flawless looking? Fluid lines, clean rooftops, no dirty bits sticking out. Everything feels like it was carved from a single piece of metal. But then you pause for a moment and think, something's missing. Long metal antenna they used to have on antique autos. Gone. And it has you wondering, where did it all go? Was it taken out only for style? Or did the autos evolve so slowly that they no longer need it? Let's go back one more time. Old automobiles had character in the simple things. You'd know them in a heartbeat. The antenna was one such feature. A slender metal rod protruding from the body or roof. Sometimes straight, flexible sometimes automatic, like a little mechanical arm lifting when the radio was turned on. That was easy, you can see it. Truthful, and it had one task. And one job only, to receive radio transmissions from the atmosphere. And that's all. Music, news, weather, talk shows. All of it came via that small rod. Back then it seemed nearly miraculous. You drive, you turn on the radio, and voices and music travel from distant cities into your car. But there was a catch to that magic. Size, because radio waves are not so easy to catch onto. They're feeble, all over the place, going all ways. And therefore the antenna needs to be long enough to pick those up properly. No shortcuts allowed. No hocus pocus. Only the physics. That's why for decades cars needed conspicuous antennas. But then the difficulties started coming up. No huge problems, just regular little disappointments that piled up. The antenna would flex during washing. Someone leaning on it would break it. It will corrode in the rain or moisture. After years of vibration, it would come undone. Sometimes it just didn't function, and everything else was great. And most of all, it showed. Betrayed. Always. A little delicate piece on the outside of a machine that is going very fast. And that was detested by automotive designers. Because while engineers cared about function, designers cared about form too. And the antenna cut across the flow of the shape of the car. Cars were getting more aerodynamic, more contemporary, more streamlined. Each curve was starting to matter. All the edges were tested in the wind tunnel. Even a little interruption in airflow causes resistance. And resistance implies higher fuel consumption, more noise, less efficiency. So picture this, you're designing a gorgeous, sleek car body made to cut through air with ease, and then you place a thin metal rod on top. It's like drawing a nice line and then running a pen over it at the end. It just didn't fit anymore, so engineers and designers began asking a serious question. Do we still need this? Or can we reimagine the whole thing? Meanwhile, something significant was going on in technology. Car electronics were rapidly developing. The radio systems were more sensitive. Signal processing got smarter. The amplifiers were getting stronger. Receivers become more effective. Suddenly, cars no longer need huge external antennas for good reception. They could pick up signals with considerably smaller systems. That was a game changer, since the antenna didn't have to be huge now. And if it didn't have to be large, it didn't have to be outside. That was the game changer. Engineers began experimenting. What if we disguised the antenna? But what if it wasn't an add-on, but rather an integrated element of the car? And slowly solutions began to emerge. Windshield antenna wires, conductive strips on back windows, hidden modules in roof panels. Cars started having antennae without showing them. And most drivers didn't even know it. The transformation was slow, you see. No statement, no huge moment, only silent evolution. But one conspicuous remnant of the old system remained. And that is how the shark fin came in. That little shape on the roof of just about every modern car. It seems like a decorative ornament on the surface. Something extra to give the car a futuristic flair. But it's not just adornment, it's a small communication system. That little fin contains a suite of antennas. Radio waves, the GPS signals, Bluetooth connection. 6. Mobile data satellite systems emergency communications. all jammed into one little device. What needed the long external rod now fits into a sleek aerodynamic design. But why exactly a fin shape? Because air is important. At high speed, cars are always struggling against wind resistance, and every projecting object causes turbulence, noise, drag, wobbliness. It's been designed to allow air to flow effortlessly over it, like water flowing around a rock rather than hitting a wall. So it fits with the motion of the car rather than interrupting it. That's engineering and design coming together. But the real change wasn't only the shape, it was the characteristic. As cars are no longer only a machine for transport today, they are interlinked systems. Now think about your driving experience. You have GPS that updates traffic in real time. You can stream music via the internet. Your phone connects wirelessly. You receive real traffic updates. Some autos even talk to cloud servers. They are always connected to digital networks. So the antenna's function has completely changed. It's not just about radio anymore. It's about talking to the whole digital universe. And that takes greater capability than before. That's why today's antennas are smarter, smaller, and more integrated. But here's a funny thing, today's technologies are much more advanced, and yet many people have happy memories of the old antennas. Why? Being visible, they were. You could watch them move when the car was moving. They were mechanical, you could tell. They made technology feel like it was real. Real. You could feel it. Check it out. Understood. Today's systems are different. You can't see them. Quiet. Now. They do labor you don't see. You see only the result. And while that's more efficient, it seems a little less human somehow. Because we naturally relate to things we can see and comprehend. But technology doesn't give a damn about nostalgia. It matters about performance, security, efficiency, integration. And there, concealed antennas take the prize. No weather damage. No larceny. Don't break. Zero aerodynamic drag. No troubles with maintenance. Simple, stable, multifunction communication operating in the background. But nevertheless, there is something lyrical about the shift. Because the antenna didn't really go away. It was different. It mutated. It was moving. It had changed its function. What was to be a basic radio catcher has become a complicated communication hub. Modern cars have a silent brain on top, covering everything from navigation to entertainment to connectivity. And most people don't even consider it anymore. It simply works. And maybe that's the last step of technology, when it gets so integrated, so seamless, so invisible, that we forget it ever was anything but separate. But let's go back for a second. See the big picture. It's not only about automobile antennae, it's about how technology changes, full stop. First, it is material. Then it gets smaller. Then it goes underground, and then it turns into something else entirely. We saw that with phones. We saw it on the cams. We saw it with keyboards. And now we see it with antennae. Everything becomes invisible. But better performance. So when you see a modern car nowadays, with that little shark fin on top, don't underestimate it. It can seem straightforward. But inside is decades of engineering progress. A trip from long metal sticks in the wind to intelligent systems speaking silently with satellites and networks around the world. And it makes one wonder, if something as visible as a car antenna can disappear completely from sight while becoming more powerful than ever, what else is progressively fading away around us, while at the same time becoming a whole lot more advanced? Thanks for watching and subscribing to the channel.